Our next speaker, a dynamic leader who has revolutionized urban transportation as the MD of the Mumbai Metro and has served the nation through her stellar IAS career. She has helmed the most ambitious and mega urban infrastructure projects in Mumbai, like the Coastal Road, as additional municipal commissioner. And I'm just short of asking her, when will we see a woman as the municipal commissioner, BMC? I have spoken to her a myriad number of times because obviously I'm the queen of every infrastructure project that happens in the city. But she, ladies and gentlemen, is amazing. A fine act between balancing vision and execution. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very fabulous Ashwini Bhide. Ashwini ma'am, thank you so much for joining us. We have so much to learn from you, which we have discovered even on that phone call that we had. But let me start with asking you this. You know, I said all those fabulous things about you, and we've spoken on the radio as well. You're always eloquent, always composed. And is it as easy as you make it seem? Because public service, infrastructure development, especially being a woman, is it an obvious choice? Please throw some color on this for me.
Thank you, Malishka. Being here after Masaba is really a difficult task.
No. Don't worry, ma'am.
No, it is never easy. You have to make it easy. And public sector especially, you are exposed to multiple stakeholders, public, and you are answerable to a lot of things.
Correct.
Because transparency is something which public sector moves with. And if asked, you need to be, very fluent about what you have done, what you have not done. And that transparency makes you always on your toes. And that's why it is not easy. You have to deal with people and at the same time maintain your cool. Because as you represent the government, as you represent the public sector, you are not your own individual self. So you always carry that might and weight of the government on your shoulders, and that is why you have to maintain your cool. And this is a learning which all officers do in government. Maybe in our initial days of career, I used to have that impatience, but the moment you talk to so many people from different walks of life, you need to learn that art of keeping your head cool and talking to people.
You said the art of keeping yourself cool and talking to people, but is this particular of the ladies and gentlemen both? Because I do definitely want you to throw some color on the fact that there are not too many women doing what you do and standing like a pillar, like a backbone. So can you tell us a little bit about what it is like being a woman in bureaucracy or in government rather?
Women in bureaucracy is not a rarity that way.
Correct.
Though the percentage share of women in bureaucracy is less, but they are there and they have been making an imprint in various sectors. But I would say the sector in which I am working for past 16 years, that is urban infra. There certainly women are less in number, and many a time when you hold a meeting or you do a program, you find that you are the only women in that group. So yes, it is slightly different, but it depends on how you take it. If you yourself put so much of weight on gender and you think that you are different from the group, then yes, it makes a difference. But I have seen that in this sector, the sector, accepts you immediately. So it is your ability to blend with the surroundings that makes it a difference. You may feel little different in the beginning, but otherwise, in urban infra as such, I have not seen that difference. But in bureaucracy, yes, there are, though there are women, but at times there is a very hidden kind of glass ceiling, I would say, because many a time there are many external factors and external entities who might think that women officers are good for certain kinds of jobs. And they are not so good for certain kind of jobs. This happens, but generally it depends on how you look at yourself. If you go beyond your gender, you look at yourself as an officer, as an efficient officer, and irrespective of your gender, without making an excuse of being a particular gender, if you do your job perfectly, if you are ready to serve whatever job expects from you, then the gender won't matter.
All right, I'll take that. But on that note, let's speak about obstacles in general, right? Infrastructure projects, as I know, in the city has often faced delays, resistance, various stakeholders, whether it is like, whether it's the public or people who have a hidden agenda. How do you manage to overcome these obstacles? What is it that keeps you doing your job day in and day out, motivated, and saying, I will see this through, we have to see this through, for example?
See, certain things come with experience. When I started, I ventured into this sector in 15 years back, around 2008, and we were doing various projects in Mumbai. And then we realized it is so difficult to do even build a single pier or put a single pile on Mumbai's road because there were so many obstacles. And initially we used to get bogged down by that. And then suddenly I thought, why it is so impossible? Because we are not thinking it through. And then slowly we started looking at each and every obstacle which was coming in the way. Because doing mega infrastructure projects in a city like Mumbai, which is a completely brownfield environment, it is difficult. Certain things on drawing board, and when you bring them on the actual ground, there are multiple challenges, be it planning challenges, space challenges, land acquisition, rehabilitation, cutting of trees, perception challenges, media's different views, political interference. There are hundreds of things. But you start thinking of them one after another and try to find out ways to deal with it, then you do find. So over a period of time, as we kept on doing these projects, and we realized that however difficult and however challenging a project is, there are ways to deal with it. And you mentioned about delays. The delays are mainly
Yes,
because
you
of
must
this.
tell us about delays.
Because of this, because there are hundreds of problems and there is no one easy solution. So you have to try multiple things and finally come up with it, but you need to deal with them with extreme sincerity. Then only the solutions they really work on the ground. The thing is, once you know that you can certainly nail that problem, then today, even if that challenge is, overwhelming, but at the bottom of my mind, I know that if I work hard on it and work in a very, very effective, efficient, and in a very what I say, practical manner, then this problem is going to get solved. And that is what keeps me going. So
Amazing.
even though the problem is there, I know there is a solution lying somewhere. I just need to find it out. And my team is there to work with. And that's what keeps you cool. So you don't get overwhelmed with the challenges.
All right. So mega projects like, for example, the metro that we were talking about, it requires balancing a lot of technical, financial, social factors. How do you prioritize, align these aspects, also keeping your colleagues and everyone in mind, bringing all of this together?
When I talk about infrastructure, I talk about mega projects, maybe coastal road or a project like Atal Setu, underground Mumbai, which is Mumbai Metro Line 3. So all these projects generally they go through four different phases. One is the pre-project phase, then the initial phase, then the consolidation phase, and then the concluding phase. And the problems which you mentioned, or the challenges you mentioned, technical, financial, social, construction challenges, so they would always remain, but each phase will have a different kind of prominent feature of that. Maybe in planning phase, financial and social issues become more important because you need to arrange for the funding for that project, and you work more on that than the technical issues. Social issues because you need to have land for the project, and to get land you need to deal with multiple social issues. Then in the initial phase, again you need to deal more on the planning side, like you got the land, but you need to prepare it for the construction. In the consolidation phase, mainly technical challenges, construction challenges. You have to deal with them, especially when you are working in the close vicinity of old dilapidated buildings, high-rise buildings, other projects. There is no space on the road. So there you really have to focus on the technical issues so that the project moves ahead. And in the last phase, it is concluding phase. Again, there are a lot of perception challenges and social challenges, something related to the operational issues. So you need to juggle with these challenges depending on which phase of the project you are in.
All right. And take us behind the scenes when something beautiful comes to life, like say, for example, the coastal road or the metro project. What is it like? What is it inside or the back scenes of it? What happens in your offices?
A lot of
Shabashi.
things, actually. No, when it comes to life, it is, see, everybody, basically, whoever has been working on it, they first get relieved because day in, day out, they leave that project and deal with all the problems, all the noises which are made. They have to take everything, all the criticism. And the moment the project is commissioned, project is opened, then the entire team is just relaxed. They feel nice. Of course, happiness is there, but they know that once it is commissioned, another set of criticism is going to come their way because people would expect it to run in a particular way, and initially there are a lot of hiccups, a lot of teething problems, and any infrastructure project, when you do it, that project is actually a kind of investment in future. So not that the day one the project will be the way you imagine it or the way it is projected. So it takes time to shape it up. It takes time to reach that level of service which is promised. So even if the project is commissioned, that full happiness is always is not necessarily there because you have to work again. So from the very next day, another set of challenges emerge, and team gets engrossed with that. Yeah.
Ma'am, may I ask you quickly, maybe two things that you think apart from infrastructure is a pressing need for Mumbai right now?
I think a very good, efficient, and effective public transport, the mass transit system, that is what Mumbai needs and any city needs. And then road network would follow that, but we need a very strong, we already have one, but that which is the suburban rail system, but that needs to be complemented or to some extent replaced with a much more advanced, robust public transport system, which is trying to be done in the form of Mumbai Metro network.
All right. May I add two to this? Since it's not infrastructure, I won't say potholes, but the other one is dengue mosquitoes. They have gone nuts in the city. So if that's one thing I could bring up to the...
Yeah, I know you are very closely associated with potholes. No, but my take is, if you have a good mass transit system, then most of the things will fall in line, because today the crowd is on the roads. We will have to shift that in metros or public transit system, and then the roads would be different, and we'll get some space, to improve them as well.
Got it. Now, I've asked you so much about, governance and about the government and about admin. I want to quickly put the responsibility, thoda sa, Mumbai kar pe. If you had to tell a city person on Mumbai kar, this is what one thing you can do to make your environment better, what would that be from your perspective, having seen?
I think to make environment better, all of us need to shift to public transport. That is not easy, because today we don't have the kind of public transport we expect or what we see and observe and experience elsewhere in the world. But we are going to that, and so my request to Mumbaikars is bear with that process, and once it is completed, then just shift yourself for your commuting needs to public transit, and that itself will sell, because transport sector is one of the largest sectors which contributes to the greenhouse gases and the carbon footprint. So more the footprint of public transport, lesser the carbon footprint of the city, and that is what everybody should keep in mind.
All right, ma'am. On a more personal note, I would like to ask you, since again we're sitting in a room of financiers, of mutual fund holders, mutual fund, the ones that will tell you where to invest or where to put your money, how to grow it. How do you look at money? What is your way of looking at money and investments?
I'm a government servant and a salaried person. So my thinking is also like any salaried person. So money is important, money is crucial, and it needs to be invested wisely. But most of the times I depend for that on my husband, and I take lesser burden of that thought of what to do and how to deal with the money. But I personally feel the happiness of life goes beyond that, And money is very important and essential. Without that, you can't have a certain quality of life. But the real happiness will always go beyond that. And even when you have a hell lot of money, which you wanted to have as your ambition, but even then, you will realize that money is not the one which makes you happy. Happiness lies much beyond that. And maybe you can find your happiness in what the daily things which you do, your work, and so many other things. So money is essential, but not the only thing which makes you happy.
All right. If your money is essential, the people in this room can help take it off you and your husband both, just in case you need to. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. Ma'am, I'm going to end the session with my last two questions because I wanted to understand, and we've spoken about this before, about what role family plays. Because you have done so much. You've had to travel. You've had to be involved. It's not something where you can say, okay, abhi mujhe ghar jana hai. I have a family. What role does family play?
I think family plays the most vital role. At least I can say that I'm here, and for past almost 26, 27 years I have spent in this service, and past 16 years I have been in Mumbai in very vital roles where the job has been very demanding. We as government servant, senior government servant, we have to be available 24/7. And in such scenario, I'm here because of my family. And the family has played the most important role in my life, be it my husband, who was also in the same service, so he knew how demanding the Indian administrative service is. He later on left, he started his own venture, and his support like a friend, like a guide, philosopher, and my entire family, be it my mother, my mother-in-law, my extended family from both sides, they have always been there for me, and that is how I could leave my whatever happens at home to them to worry about, and I could give maximum time to my job. So I think without family, it is very difficult to grow and prosper in life. Especially many women would find the same. There are women, even without support of family, they have really done great and well. But if the family support is there, I think women prosper and progress like anything, both in their personal life as well as in their career.
इस बात पे जोरदार तालियां. आज हमने families की बहुत बात की है, because they are the backbone of everything we do. And to think that you might have had to extensively be out of the house, be in office, perhaps travel a lot as well in your job.
Yeah, I have to travel, and as I said, when you are like I was in BMC as additional commissioner for 4 years, and had responsibilities, of course, apart from coastal road, was in charge of fire department, was in charge of the eastern suburbs, and suddenly something happens in the night, and you have to be there. So the job is demanding, and you can't give excuse of your household responsibilities or your family not supporting for not being there in the field, on the job. Whenever you are required, you have to be there. And at times, women officers, if you do that, the women officers is a very typical patronizing attitude which will be shown to you that, okay, you are a lady officer, yes, it's probably it's not possible for you. So I never had to, get that kind of feeling from others, because my family was always there. And the most importantly, they took pride, they take pride in what I'm doing.
Yes.
And that's why that support is very from within. And that keeps me going.
And what fabulous work you've been doing, Ashwini Bhide. Thank you so much. Before going, one last question. Will we see a woman BMC commissioner anytime soon? I can't wait to pick a phone and ask her, hopefully that, ma'am, sadko ka kya ho raha hai, like for example.
So I think that is your dream. So
that's my dream.
So let us wish that your dream is fulfilled. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Ashwini Bhide, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.